Hey y'all, just wanted to touch base with you guys. I work today, so I'm a hot mess. Just overlook me heating up my dinner, and I don't know. I went to go start my van, and I couldn't find my keys, and luckily I have an extra key, but I had taken the dogs out when I went on break, so I had them in, and I don't know if somebody picked them up. They fell off my purse. I don't know, so I'm kind of stressing about that. And then right now, I'm having to use a jump box to start my van because I don't know what it is. I've done some research and it's either the battery terminals are corroded and I've got the stuff to clean those. I'm going to do that in the next days that I'm off, beginning of the week. And then if it's not the battery terminals, it's the battery. If it's not the battery, it's the alternator. And I've got to get the battery tested. If cleaning the battery terminals doesn't fix it, and then if the battery's okay, then I got to test the alternator. But either one of those are expenses that I just can't afford right now. And it's an old van, it's a 93. And now the transmission's starting to slip. That's really got me, like, I don't know. I'm trying to live in the zone of the now. And I've done all this studying and research. And, you have to raise your vibration. You have to think like you already have it, all these things, and I have such strong faith. I've been through so many things, and I look back on the things that I've been brought through, and I know God has always made a way for me. But I had a little mini meltdown, I'm not gonna lie, because I'm really stressing. This is my home on wheels with my dogs, and I don't have a ton of resources, so I can't just go get a new van. And easy guys, it's okay. Lily, she barks at people when Lily, stop. It's okay. Good girl. You did your job. Anyway, you guys have been following me for years know how strong I am, how resilient I am, and all the things that I've come through. Some of it has made absolutely no sense how I even got out of the situation, much less got into it, or how I got into it, much less got out of it, however you want to phrase that. But this one I'm worried about because I don't have resources and um, I can only work part time. My body won't let me work anymore. I've got all these issues that I don't complain about, but I've got them. I've got fibromyalgia. I have a collapsing spine. And if I work more than 3 days a week, my body just is agony and I get to where I can't sleep and it's awful. So I found a balance where I could work part time. Well, when I first got to Oregon, I worked for a farmer and somehow it got misreported what I made for him. And we turned everything into Social Security for it, but they're taking their time. They tried to say that I've been able to work since 2023, even though I've only worked part time. I've done the Ticket to Work program. I've stayed within 25-hour guidelines, like they've said. I don't go to doctors like I should because I don't trust medical doctors. I don't trust them. They have almost killed me too many times now and missed things that I found and got diagnosed, or my family found and got diagnosed. So I only go to doctors when I absolutely have to. And when I do, I go for diagnostics and then I look at things that I can do to fix it naturally. And I have fought all these things for my health. I went whole food plant based. I went raw vegan for a year and reversed the gastroparesis and put endometriosis in remission. But I can't change my collapsing spine. I can't change my body to the point that it doesn't hurt. I just can't. And that is me. I don't eat sugar. I don't eat wheat. I don't eat any animal products. I just recently went vegan keto, which is even harder. I've been vegan since 2012 or 2013. I went vegetarian 2012, but I have done what it takes to try to heal my body. Going raw vegan for a year was not easy. It's all the prep work with raw. You literally have to prep everything. And I had a dehydrator, I had a Vitamix, I had a juicer, all those things at my disposal, thank God. And I did get through it, but the option was to go on a feeding tube. That's what the medical field wanted to do to me. And I'm like, heck no, I'm not doing that. And so I fought it. God bless my hair's a mess, y'all. But anyway, I know I'm a little bit rambling here, but I want you guys that out there that are struggling, to know that even the strongest people struggle, even the strongest people have doubts and fears and don't know how they're going to make it sometimes, but they just get through the moments and they keep going and they keep doing. And that's what I do. I make myself get up. Yesterday, I didn't move my van at all. I didn't even move out of the place I normally park at on the highway because I needed a day to just rest and decompress. And there's nothing that I can do right now to change what my circumstances are. So instead of sitting around depressed or trying to whatever, I just chilled yesterday. I meditated and I prayed and I had a day of peace with my dogs. And I know that somehow, some way, a way will be made, and I will look back on this moment and be like, ah, you knew better. You knew your faith was going to get you through. What's wrong with you? You know, and beat myself up a little bit, but I'm human. So right now I'm doubting and I'm worrying. And, I was given this big mission, this big vision of eco villages built around a permaculture food forest. I've got a business plan to even make it self-sufficient with Airbnb type things and classes. And I can't go into the whole deep because I don't want to give away my idea, but I was shown this, you know, and I got so close when I went to California and did all those crazy things that I did. But then I connected with someone who was so damaged, which I was still damaged, you know, I thought I was healed after 3 years of being single from my divorce, but I still had issues I was working through. And I met someone because I was vibrating at that level. And unfortunately, everything that I tried to build, it got torn apart behind my back. And like we had an 80-acre farm in California, y'all. Do y'all know how crazy that is? An 80-acre farm with 5 springs in a pond, an earth house, a greenhouse with a dragon on the roof. Just crazy, you know? And I told him before we got there that we were going to get it. And we did. And so I look back on all that and I'm just like, God, why did I have to meet that person? Why did I get so close? But it was because I needed lessons and I needed to heal. I would have given it away to the wrong person at that time. I would have helped all the wrong people and ended up destitute myself. And I learned all these lessons, all these people I tried to help. When I got down and sick on my back and couldn't get up, they all walked right by me and not one of them stopped and said, hey, Shell, do you need anything? People I had made food for, people that I had cared for, people I had bought things for to try to make them happy and to get their mental health better, and offered them medicine, natural medicine and everything. All they had to do was work 4 to 5 hours a day, 5 days a week, and they got all the room and board, all the medicine that they wanted, cannabis, and we bought all their groceries. And I had people just beat me up and do all kinds of crazy stuff. And some of them still hate me to this day, and I don't know why. I didn't lie to them. I didn't steal from them. I didn't cheat them. Now, my ex was making deals behind my back that I didn't know anything about. And when he couldn't follow through, he threw me under the bus when I left. So this is the stories I've heard. I don't know. Honestly, I walked away from all of it. I blocked all of them off my phone, off my social media, including him, and just let it all go. I started working on my own healing and getting through the heartache of it because I really gave my whole heart. I really loved that man. I loved the farm. I loved what we were trying to build in my heart. I just didn't realize that it was never in his heart, you know, until it was too late. So I did the best that I could do in that moment. And when my 24-year marriage ended, I didn't know what to do. I had been married since I was 18 years old. It's all I knew. And yeah, I'd always been a strong woman. I'd been in management. I'd always been independent thinker and strong, but I was codependent on him. And he was a covert narcissist, the charmer. And the man really loved me. He just still to this day, he loves me. But it's a damaged, wounded, horrible love that just so toxic, and it hurt me in so many ways and our son. And so I had to leave. And when I finally broke free of that, I had to rebuild my entire life. I got dumped in Florida, a place I never wanted to be. And so I got a part-time job, and I ended up getting a vehicle. He sent me down in a little truck that was just falling apart, and the lady ended up hitting me head on and totaling it. And in that moment, I remember that exact moment. I'm like, what am I going to do? I don't have a vehicle. How am I going to get to work? And I put it on Facebook, and this lady who did not know me, she said, Shell, I've got a vehicle you can borrow. Actually, her son had helped do a little work on my truck before I was in that wreck. That's what it was. And she reached out and loaned me her vehicle until I was able to get a vehicle. And it took me a while to get a vehicle. but I was able to finally get another one. And then the guy that sold me that vehicle lied to me, and it had a CV axle going bad on it. So it ended up breaking down. And I remember all those crazy times I thought, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? But a way was always made. So that's where I'm at right now in this moment. I'm sitting here getting through these moments, thinking about things. I'm in the most beautiful place, thank God. And the weather is awesome for the dogs. It's still a little cool here, believe it or not. We had 2 really hot days, and then now it's back in the 60s again. In the 40s at night. I'm having to still wear a light hoodie, you know? So thank God for that for the dogs. But I've got my butane stove. I'm sitting here heating my food up. I've got a power system that I can heat and charge all my stuff. It charges off solar. Thank God the sun's out. So I don't have to run my van all the time. But I've been going basically from the highway to the beach as much as possible to save money and resources. But by the time I buy food and fill up my gas tank and pay my little bills, I've got insurance, phone bill, and all that stuff. There ain't much left, you know? I'm not broke, but I don't have enough money to put a transmission in my van. I don't have enough money to get a new battery or a new alternator or whatever the heck it is it needs. And this stuff's happening after it started needing the power steering pump. I did get a new starter put on it, thank God, through that one program. But that didn't even fix what was wrong with it. So it's just like, come on, I need a break. But I'm in this most beautiful, magical place. I'm sitting here. I can look out my door at the ocean. I don't know if y'all can see this. It's right out my van, you know. You take the dogs to walk on the beach. I've got this beautiful little town that I walk through, and all the locals know me. Everybody here loves me. But I don't tell them my business. I don't tell them. They know I'm a van lifer. They know that I'm doing it because I want to do it, because I love it, and it's an adventure. But they don't know my history. They don't know all of what I've got going on, you know. But long story short, getting back to all that, I was on SSDI, and I've been through 3 reviews with them for my physical part of it, and went through every one of them. But because it got misreported, then they said, oh, I was able to work, even though it didn't make sense, because the paperwork they sent me, it said if you work 3 consecutive months and make more than a certain amount, then they say you are able to work. But if you don't, then you know, so I never did that. I always worked 25 hours a week or less. And I never made more than the amount of money I was supposed to make, but it got misreported. So anyway, we sent all those check stubs in to Social Security, and now I'm waiting. But they sent me a letter saying that I owe $43,000 in back pay, where they overpaid me since 2023. So I've appealed all that, but they keep sending me a letter reminding me that they're not going to go into collections until they make their decision, but just to let me know that I still owe it, and I can make a payment if I want to. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm going to pull that out my butt, you know. I've struggled with telling people this, you know, but I'm like, you know, people are going to judge me no matter what I do. They have no idea what I go through on a daily basis. I have to sometimes talk myself to get out of bed because of my body. I have to drag myself up and make myself go because my energy bottoms out. But I mean, I am literally doing everything I can with my diet and with supplements. I can't afford all my supplements. I keep running out of different things. I'm like, crap. And I'll order one thing here and one thing there that I know I've got to have, that if I don't, I can't function at all. You know, but it's like this fine line that I'm walking right now. But I'm doing it, you know, I'm doing it. So I just want y'all to know, I know I make things look great on Facebook with my pictures of my dogs and the beauty that's here. And it is great. Don't get me wrong. It is amazing. I love it. I'm so blessed to be here. But I'm going through things on a daily basis. Like, it's always something. And I just wanted y'all to know that. We gotta hang in. We gotta hang tough and hang strong. And I watched I think his name's Neville Goddard. Goddard, I probably say it wrong, because everything I say is funny anyway, because I'm from Georgia. But anyway, he said you've got to imagine that you've already got it. You've got to imagine it like it's a memory. No, don't think about what you're going to have in the future, because the future doesn't exist, y'all. Not yet. And the past doesn't exist. The only thing that exists is right now. So you have to visualize while you're laying there thinking about whatever it is that you're wanting. You have to visualize that you're already there, that you've already got it. It's already yours. Like, you have to literally see it and feel it and believe it. And then it can appear in your reality. And until you're to that point, it won't appear in your reality. And I remember when I was so determined that I was going to get that farm in California, I had the strongest, clearest vision of it. I told people about it. And then we ended up getting it. So I'm still not great at it. Like, I manifested being able to get my van. I manifested all these things, but I still have inner work to do where I don't feel worthy, where I went through all the childhood traumas and all the things that I've been through. And as much as I love myself right now, I still have those. It's not really even insecurities. It's just like, do I really deserve that? Can I really handle that? And until you get out of that mindset, you won't have it. And if you do get it, you'll lose it because you self-sabotage. So I'm thinking about all those things. That's what I'm doing. That's what this time is for. And I know that Spirit has got me in a holding place right now. I can't move forward. I can't go do what I want to do. Like I said, I'm in a beautiful place and I'm grateful for that and I'm happy for that. But if I had my choice right now, I would have already been moving towards my land in New Mexico to see. I had a lady gift me half an acre and I haven't registered or anything yet because I haven't even seen it yet. But I want to go see it and make sure that that's where I want to be as a little home base. But on my way there, I'd love to go to Quartzsite for the winter. That's where all the van lifers and all the RVers, all the nomads gather in the wintertime. And it's really perfect for the dogs. It's in the 70s there during the wintertime. So that's my main goal, but I've got till September, my birthday, to figure out my next move because that's when the season ends here and that's when the weather starts turning bad here. And I really don't want to be on the coast for the winter. I mean, all hell breaks loose sometimes. It did last winter. They had, what they call it, atmospheric hurricanes and flooding and landslides, just crazy stuff. So I don't want to be here for none of that. But anyway, hey Wendy, hey Caitlin. I just wanted to just share that with you guys. I know I make it look great. I know everything looks wonderful, but it's not all rainbow and sunshine. But I don't choose to dwell on that. I don't choose to sit here thinking about, oh my God, what am I going to do? 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 Because I can't do anything right now. All I can do is what I can do. And let's get through these moments. So I'm enjoying the beach. I'm heating up my food. I'm talking to you guys, letting off some of this because I don't have a lot of friends one-to-one that I talk to either. I've got a lot of acquaintances, and I've got a very dear friend, but she's got her own life and all these things going on with her grandkids and her health and all that. I don't want to put anything on her, and I love her dearly. And but I don't have close connections in my life. I have a lot of friends, Facebook, all that. Like I said, a lot of acquaintances, a lot of people that care for me and know me, but not very many people that I let into my very inner sanctum anymore because I have been so hurt by people, used and abused. And I'm trying not to tear up here, y'all, but I really, truly wanted to help people. And I ran into some of the most horrible, I can't even tell you all the things that I went through. And, like I said, a couple of them, they still are out there hating me and wanting to destroy me and take me down. And I'm like, my God, to not have anything better in your life than to want to hurt a little Georgia girl that ain't hurting nobody, that's out here with her dogs trying to live the best life that she can. Man, I feel sorry for them, honestly. But it is what it is. And I have forgiven and let go and released. I don't have no ill will towards either of my exes. I hope that they heal and that they never do to somebody else what they did to me. And both of them, I know, regret me not being in their lives now because they know what I was to them after they lost it. They knew, but they did not treasure it during the time they had it. And I deserve to be treasured. And I'm going to tell y'all, I will not be in another relationship unless it's a man that really shows me who he is, how he's going to treat me ahead of time. I had never dated. I just jumped into a relationship. I was wifey material, And so, oh, I'm in love. Let's jump in a relationship. Let's build a house. Let's do this stuff together. And I didn't realize it was narcissistic stuff happening to me. They were love bombing me and getting me hooked so that they would have me hooked and then they could go do whatever they wanted to do. And I was young and naive and stupid and didn't know any of that stuff. But I've learned it now, and I know now, and I know the red flags. I will never ignore another red flag. I will never make another excuse for another person. When they show me they're ugly, I recognize it, and I walk away, and I do not give them a second chance. I don't care if they apologize. I'll be glad. Glad you apologize. Glad you feel sorry for it. but I don't need you in my life. You showed me who you are. So that's a boundary. And I don't care if they're mad. I don't care if they're hurt. I don't care what they feel because they did not care how I felt in the moments that they hurt me. They know what they did. They know every instance of what they did to me. So anyway, like I said, I've let all that go. Y'all see Louie in the background? Overlook my chair. I have to put it up there when I'm cooking. It's a Louie. Hi, Louie. These fur babies make it so worth it. The unconditional love. If people could be more like dogs, we would have it made, you know? We would so have it made. Well, Louie is wanting some loving, and I gotta eat my dinner now, but I gotta eat it up. And y'all seen my hot mess, and you've heard about my, heard about my hot mess. So just say a prayer if you believe in that. If you don't, send me some good energy. Send me some love. I'll send y'all love. I think about a lot of y'all all the time. And I say prayers for you. Set intentions for you. He's got to clean my ears. Yeah, I know you too. All right, guys, I'm going to get off here. Have a great rest of your day. Y'all probably hearing him slurping my ear here. I let them be dogs. I don't care. When they're on leash, I let them sniff everywhere and pull me around and lead me and whatever. Every time I talk to them and tell them what to do, though, they do it. So I let them be dogs as much as possible because they deserve that. Yes, they do. Anyway, have a great night, guys. Peace.